you have done everything right. You might have got the job, you might have learned the skills you wanted to for it, right? But every time you are in a meeting or in any social settings, right, there's this nagging thought that you have. What if they found out that I'm not good as they think? If that sounds like you, then it's not your fault. Imposter syndrome is keeping you stuck right now. And today I'm gonna exactly show you how to break free from that. Let's get it.
I started getting like really bad imposter syndrome throughout the week. Like,
Mm.
you know what I mean? Like, basically the feeling that my accomplishments weren't truly mine, and that the way I got them were not that were they were like completely out of my control. Like it was like it only happened through luck or something.
Like,
Like
what do you mean? Exactly, what do you mean, like, by luck?
let's say for example, um let's say I'm trying to think of something. Like let's say I ask I ask a friend out, like, hey, you wanna go get lunch? Yeah, sure. Yeah, and we get lunch, and I write that down as a small win. But then something in my head tells me, is that really a win, or is that or did that just happen out of luck because you just so happen to align? Like,
Mm.
you know what I mean?
I mean, I understand, like, you're gonna have that voice, but you have to understand that luck means opportunities. You know what I mean? Like, when you guys start focusing on something, you tend to have more. You might call it luck, but that's like synchronicity. If you know, you know what's that? Synchronicity.
Don't think I've heard of it too much.
Synchronicities means like when you're trying to focus on a goal, and when you focus on that, you have more opportunities on that. So your RAS, the part of your brain, starts to focus on things that align with that. Let's say your focus is becoming that person, right? The version of yourself. Now your brain gonna be tend to focus on more things like the wins I told you. So I also like changing the meaning you give instead of saying, "Oh, this is luck." Saying like this is the opportunity that I'm having. Like this is like synchronicity that's happening, that's aligning. So why do you think it's luck? Like, do you think it's bad or is it good?
I wouldn't say it's bad. It's more like, had it been like I feel like it's like out of control. Like the way I see luck is that like things just so happen to align with what I'm trying to get, and then but like had I not been, I feel like it was just some spiritual alignment or something that had not been for that, I wouldn't even get this at all. Like I don't know.
Hmm.
I have like a kind of weird definition of luck.
I would say that's not luck. I would say like the things I'm telling you things, it's like we cannot explain, but it works. It's like time-test principles of life, how life works. So I just gave you things that works without having to understand why it works. You don't know why gravity works, right? The gravity works. Like if you throw that shit, it works because of the force. We don't know why it works, why it's there. I'm telling you things that if you just implement right throughout the course, it's gonna work. You cannot explain why it works. You try to understand why, you get into that spiral. You're gonna have like
Yeah,
shit, why it works. It shouldn't be working like this, or I don't deserve this, or this is happening because of luck. The imposter syndrome comes.
yeah.
So, bro, this is good. What the fuck? Like, I'm happy that shit is working for you. I'm like, fucking, let's go. It's working for you. But why do you
I,
think it's bad? Like, I want to just get rid of that belief so it doesn't fucks up in the future, right? So if you have more big things, then all of a sudden the fact that you still feel like imposter syndrome might hinder it. You're not gonna feel like I deserved it. So what specifically will you feel like that way?
like let's say, I mean, it doesn't even have to be talking about taking out a coworker lunch or whatever. It could be like passing an exam, or like getting my degree after like God knows how long, and yet a voice of mine is gonna tell me, I don't did I really deserve this? Like I went through all that, but like something in my voice telling me, you don't I don't know if I really deserve this, because like I feel like I've done a lot of shitty things that would have probably disqualified me otherwise. Like, like say for instance, I cheated on an exam or whatever. Or
Mm.
I mean, I'm not like I would do that, of course, but like I'm just giving an example. Like, that maybe there are certain things I did that might have disqualified me from getting
Mm.
that thing that I earned, if that makes sense.
Mm. And also like that's what the fuck. This is perfect, bro. Like what the hell? You're having everything that person need to go through in order to have what he wants, right? So it's
Yeah.
like the things you are having is natural part of the thing that you need to go through. So maybe understanding that the voice that is having, it doesn't want to die. It doesn't want to like go away because it knows that it doesn't want to die. Some people like sometimes your friends, your social circle are the same people. If you try and become better, they will bring you down, and that's the voice. Make sense?
Yeah.
So let's say you want to become better, and they see you becoming better. They don't want you to do better than him, better than them, or things like that. So automatically that voice is gonna bring you down. But it depends how you consistently go up, right? So now, right now, if you're like, if you are really, really attached to it, then it can control. So what's your reaction towards it now? Like, there's a difference you see now?
Like whenever I feel like I am getting better, but it doesn't feel like it. Like it feels so. I don't know. It feels so real. Like it feels like it's a moment of. I feel like it's like I'm going through a phase of my life that shouldn't be happening, but it is, and I'm like, why is this happening? I'm like, maybe it's normal. Maybe it's normal. Maybe it's normal. I'm just
Wait, what do you mean by happening? Is it like good or bad?
like no. Here's the thing. It's neutral. But it's also it's also like it's kind of like the social fantasy thing. Like what I fantasize about is finally coming to reality, but my mind just can't compute that because I'm like thinking this cannot be real. Is I guess
Yeah.
is that just that voice in my head?
Yeah, because let me explain this to you, bro. Some things in life that happens, we cannot intellectually, we cannot comprehend why it happens at all, ever. Because you have to realize, 95% of the things we are unconscious about, subconscious, 95%. And right now, the thoughts you are having, you're thinking, it's only 5%. You cannot understand everything. Make sense?
Yeah,
So if you try to logically do that, you're just gonna get into a bad spiral, to be honest. So I would say like the gratitude one, being grateful where you're going, what you have, can help you with those voices. To have that voice working towards you. Make sense? So if you
yeah,
have like, if you're grateful of the things you are having, or you have, maybe the bottle you have behind your back, right? Or have a bottle to like drink and everything, all that
yeah,
stuff. Slowly, it's gonna go up. Now you can like be grateful of the things you have now instead of being bad towards it.
yeah,
And then from that state, focus on the things you want, not from the negative, not everything. Gratitude, and then the future.
yeah, bro. Would that apply for like overthinking like negative thoughts and negative outcomes? Would you say that trying to think of would you try just like thinking about like I'm jumbling my
No, you
words.
good, you good. Don't worry.
So would you say like trying to logically understand the time of events that's happening could also apply to like thinking, this may result in a negative outcome, or like, oh man, which may result in your negative thoughts. Would that also apply?
Can you give me a specific like scenario?
Like, let's say for instance, I mean, pretty easy. Like, let's say, I mean, we're gonna do it I'm gonna use it a third time, but let's say I forgot my calculator, and then
Yeah.
I realize I logically
It's
think, oh
yeah,
man,
calculator. The calculator thing is really really helping out, bro. Like with the
yeah,
things.
like, oh man. Logically, my mind's thinking, oh man, I'm definitely gonna fail this exam. That's my mind thinking about it logically. But
Mm.
then, if I were to happen to pass the exam instead, my mind's like, no, wait, that cannot be right. That's not right. I'm like, you did certain things
Mm.
they didn't you didn't deserve this because you forgot certain things that you could have been disqualified. So like,
Mm. Yeah, that's your past talking, kind of. Is your past
yeah,
talking, to be honest. I would say the thing is, the more do you engage with that voice, the more energy you give to that voice, and the
yeah,
stronger it gets. So the only way is to like never pay attention, never engage, just see the thought as it thoughts. So the thing is, for me, what I've recently realized for these past few months, I used to think the thoughts that arise in my head were me. I look the thoughts as me, right? It arises as me because, of course, where the fuck it came from me, right? But instead of seeing like the thought is my thought, look it as a thought, right? So when you look at something, it's not you. Make sense? So if you look
yeah,
at this, that's not you. If you can look at your thoughts, that's not you. I know this is true, like spiritual bullshit, like really, really deep. But once you understand this thing, the thought doesn't have power over you at all, because you can look at the thought and just like, oh shit, this thought's having something. There is a thought. That's not my thought. There is a thought. There's a negative thought there. Once you separate, you feel that emptiness, like the stillness.
yeah,
And from there, you can have the positive gratitude thing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it does. It does. Like, obviously detaching is gonna take a while, but like, I get what you mean. Like, my thoughts. It's easier for me to, engage
Mm.
rather than detach because I often see those myself. But like, that's all it is.
I would say like understanding between unattached and detached. I would say being more unattached is better than detached because detached means you are that and now you are detached. Make sense? You
Yeah.
think you are the thought, then you detach.
Yeah.
Unattached means I'm not even the thought. I'm not the thing at all. Unattached, I'm not attached to it at all. If it happens, it happens. That's not me. Detached means, oh, it happened. Now I detach. It means it's still part of you, if that makes sense. So when the thought happens, you told me like it takes time for detaching. What makes you say that?
Like there are some times where some thoughts, can trigger some strong emotions, like rage,
Mm,
like
mm,
like shit. Easily, like something like road rage. Let's say I drive to work first thing in the morning, as usual, and then multiple people are cutting me off, and automatically those thoughts are thinking, damn, like I could have died at any of those moments, but I didn't. But I'm so emotionally invested in my emotions, of rage and pettiness. I'm just like I'm too engaged in the thought at that point.
mm. Also, I don't know if you have seen the other thing. So maybe when the thing happens, right?
Yeah,
Did you go through the steps like acknowledging that I have the emotion, accepting that, oh shit, I feel this way? Because the more you resist, the more like, fuck, why do I feel angry? Why? The more you question it, the more resentful it becomes, the more you become resistful. Like the emotion gets stronger.
yeah,
So I would say at that moment, acknowledging that there is an emotion. Let's say you forgot the calculator. Calculator. Let's say you forgot the calculator. You feel kind of angry. You know what? There is anger in this body. I feel angry. I don't feel angry. There is anger in this body. Instead of saying I feel angry, say like there's anger or this feeling in my body.
yeah,
And then when you say that, acknowledge it. I mean, sorry, acknowledge that there is, accept that there. I feel this way. The more you accept it, the more it doesn't have power over you. Meaning, it doesn't have power over the actions you take later. It
right,
takes time. So it's like the more you are engaged with that emotions, the more it affects the other actions you take later.
yeah,
If that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. And another thing, so I know I texted you yesterday that the same coworker I took off lunch the other week. Yeah, she rejected me that time. Like thinking, damn.
By the way, I'm sorry. I'm gonna to tell you to like interrupt you. I appreciate you like fucking texting, bro. That's a fucking thing. That's how you cope, bro. Like things happen, you tell me. Something good happens, you tell me. Something bad happens. That's how you can like make you accountable at the same time.
Yeah,
The call is to understand like if something is stopping you from something,
yeah, bro.
or if you want clarifications, or make the things better. That's the call for. So we were
Exactly.
saying back.
Yeah, though. Yeah, no, yeah, that was just, yeah. I'm actually starting to finally build up that habit, so I'm gonna keep at it. Yeah, so I did reject at that moment. I got rejected by the same coworker who I took out for lunch that other week.
Mm,
And I can't lie to you. In that moment, I felt not anger for some reason, not rage, but rather just disappointment. Like I felt an
mm,
immense disappointment in myself because, like, I'm thinking, damn. Because so here's the thing: when I'm engaged, in that moment, I only thought of two other things. Either 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 I wasn't engaging enough, or she's already looking at someone else. And I mean, I guess it's a little bit related to dating, but it's not really where I'm going with. But like you see what I'm going. Like those were the only two
mm.
thoughts that I had at that moment, and I felt so disappointed in myself because I'm like thinking, bro, that voice in my head was just gnawing on me so loud. Like, bro, like that the voice in my head that was telling me, bro, you're not good enough for anyone. You're not good enough for anyone. Like, why even try?
Mm. Yeah. Understand why we'll have that because it hasn't gone through these things at the first time. It like happens. So are you still like kind of dwelling on the things that happen, or you feel like neutral right now? Like how do you feel?
I'm in terms of I guess you could say I'm still emotionally dwelling on it. Not
Mm,
really. I'm being vulnerable, real. I'm still emotionally dwelling on it. I'd be lying to you if I told you I wasn't also very irritated myself in that moment.
mm,
But I'm slowly becoming neutral about it again. I'm still kind of dwelling about it though, if I'm being honest. But
mm,
yeah, it's like, and here's the thing, right? It also triggered a memory from my old job as well. If I
mm,
think I can finally share with you, like, cause I remember at my old job there was this other girl who really liked me, like, and this was like years ago, years ago, like maybe like 5, 6 years ago, like probably before the pandemic. There was this other girl who really liked me, I think. But the thing is, and I want you to keep this in mind, that at the time I had no established social skills, and not only
mm.
that, I had no self-respect. I'll be right. All right, I had
Yeah,
no
yeah.
self-respect. I did not know how to love myself. So and so at the time she was working as a supervisor for like the front line or whatever,
Mm,
and like each time she would tease me about something, I was immediately first mind I thought was like, bro, she fucking hates me. Like, bro, why is she treating me this way? And then all these thoughts just spiral into me, like thinking, damn, bro,
mm,
like I hate myself a lot, and this is why. And
mm,
later on, turns out she finally found a moment to approach me and all that, and we started talking. But then I felt, and I don't know what it is, but I felt a certain disappointment in her as well as we kept talking. And I was like thinking, bro, she doesn't like me. Like if I keep talking to her more, she doesn't like me. And I'll be real with you. The rejection from yesterday, I felt the same exact way because
mm,
it triggered a certain memory in my head, and I all I can think about is that time because of what happened yesterday.
mm.
I know it's a lot, but
No, no, no. Yeah, yeah, of course. I got it, got it. So maybe okay. So that thing triggered you, that right?
yeah,
And how did you felt? Did you feel like really emotional, like internally, or how was it?
like really emotionally, like disappointed, a little bitter. I'm like, yeah, like I never thought of like. Here's the thing, right? When a girl declines you, typically there's many different reasons why, but my mind only came up to those two conclusions. Either I wasn't that engaging for her, or she's looking for someone else. Those are the only two things I thought of. Like, because
Mm,
retrospectively, I know there's many other different reasons why, but at the time, that's all I like to think about.
mm. I see. I'll say one. There's a lot of things that happen here. So the triggerness, let's say the triggerness, right? So how did you reacted when you had the emotion? How is your self-talk to yourself? Like, let's say you felt all those things because triggering is a natural cause.
Yeah,
It's a natural cause. But how you react to it causes how it thinks, right? So if you react badly, it's gonna affect more in the future. So now you have something to let go of. So you can do the let it go meditation. Just to
yeah.
be better. So that's one of the things. Other thing will be did you feel like you put too much attachment towards that second date or the lunch you had? How was your importance levels? How much importance did you put towards that?
Can I be honest? I never realized how attached I am to certain things until I actually get a completely different outcome than I was expecting, like thinking down. Because the moment she said no, I was like, ready to burst in tears. I'm like, damn, this actually happened. And like, and here I was thinking I was ready to accept the worst possible outcome, but then that happens, and then it actually happens, and then yeah,
Mm,
it's it's it was a little emotionally overwhelming at the time. I mean, I guess now kind of over it, but like it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it.
mm. So you did like detach from the outcome, like you didn't put too much importance,
Yeah, but
and you
yes,
still felt
but
them.
then yes, but then when the outcome actually happened, that's when I felt like I did probably attach myself a little too much than I should have. Like
How much was the importance level?
on a scale of 1 to 10, probably a 5, as in, if it actually happens, oh shit, we can actually go somewhere. But then if it doesn't happen, whatever, I have other options. But the problem is the whatever wasn't a thing. It was more of like, emotions of bitterness and resentment. Like, and again, like I said, that voice in my head is telling me, you're not good enough. You're not good enough. That's all I was telling me.
Mm. Because there's a lot of things you can do. So how's the meditation going, by the way?
It's going good. Like, I've missed, like, there are certain days I missed, but like,
No, no, no. About I don't care about the thing, but how do you feel after like doing it? Like, how do you actually feel? Is it like improving or nothing? So we can like adjust the things. We can like do things, right?
right after the meditation, I definitely feel, more synced in through the moments. But then as the day goes on, I feel less
Mm,
engaging with myself, if that makes
mm.
sense.
Yeah, the outer world just dictates you more,
Yeah,
like the same pattern. Yeah,
yeah,
it's normal. I meditate like twice a day for like 15 to 10 minutes, like morning and afternoon. So it has a drop, 6 hours, and you come back to that same pattern. So I do
yeah,
it again, so it doesn't affect me. So that's how
right.
I do it. If the meditation is helping you out, then maybe sticking with that. But it takes 30 minutes. So maybe just increasing the speed, 1.5. I don't know. Maybe you
1.5.
can try that. Now, but it's not gonna be that engaging. I don't think the quality will be that good. No, it's not good for sacrificing that. Okay. I also just stick with the 1 day meditation if you can, or some days you can. I'll just stay with that. I think understanding your voice, because you're detaching yourself, you're doing all that stuff, and it becoming stronger. Because the girl doesn't matter because there's thousands of options. It's you that we need to understand better, Because
Yeah,
that girl rejected you doesn't have to do anything. She might be going through shit we don't know, but you put some attachment that you're maybe unconscious of, right? You might be unconscious and you might be have put in attachment. Sometimes we don't know why we attached it. We get angry as to why we attached it, and that shit fucking gets you more into that thing. Hmm. I would say, asking yourself good, like tough questions. I'm gonna give you an exercise, right? It's like talking to your past self,
yeah,
understanding your past self. I'm gonna send you later. It's like the process goes like this. You ask yourself tough questions, really tough questions. Like tell yourself, why am I not good enough? That's one. Why my parents hate me and it's entirely my fault. See how fucking tough it gets? That's how the shadow questions. Understanding your deep desires. Of course, you're gonna say, "Oh, I'm good enough." But if there are a voice that comes out, right, and says, "Just write it down," write it down because that voice you need to let go of. Your voice tell, "I'm not good enough." Just write it down why. Make sense?
yeah,
So detaching is good. It's good for like do things and not give energy towards it. If it just keep coming up, it's good to let go in the meditation. So I would say the exercise is like this. You ask yourself tough questions and you have this dialogue between you and your shadow self. So it's like the person who's like telling you negative stuff. What the fuck happened here? Is it working?
yeah. It's
Yes,
working.
working. I don't know I'm going tangent here, but it's like you're
Yeah,
having a dialogue with yourself. So your past self and you ask yourself tough questions. And after that, it might make you emotional, but you have to accept it. Okay, I'm here. I can take care of it and everything because there's a part of yourself who still want to protect you, but it's not protect you anymore. It's just harming you now right now. So the voice you're having right now is your shadow self. Shadow
right.
self means things you have suppressed, the emotion you have suppressed since you were born. Things have happened to your life, and emotionally you didn't want to deal with, and you suppressed it. And now, right now, it's trying to come up. Make
Yeah,
sense? So I think you have a conversation with it once a week, maybe like 30 minutes. Just give yourself time for yourself, right? And the more you understand yourself, the better. So you know how to like see like, oh, this is the voice that he went through. So don't worry, I got it. Something like that. Having that self-talk.
yeah,
Detaching is good, but also having the self-talk, if it's really, really strong, then can help you out.
yeah.
So what do you think, if that makes sense? look, tell me like honestly, what did make sense here so I can help you out.
Like recognizing the voice in your head, and understanding that that's shadow, like that's your shadow self talking to you, because you spent so long suppressing those emotions that eventually when something does happen, it just comes up
Mm,
because you don't know how to deal, because you never truly know how to deal with it. Anything
mm,
after, if I'm being honest, sometimes some you may have to repeat some of the things after that though, like
yeah. Okay, so which part didn't you understand so I can help you?
after the suppressing parts.
Okay, suppressing part. Hmm, where was I? Fuck.
Like
Okay, so suppressing the emotions. Okay, that's one thing. I was asking, no, that was the process of understanding why we do certain things and why those.
oh, like yeah,
Yeah.
like asking yourself tough shit, like
Yeah, yeah,
why.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna send you the actual steps. I'm also gonna record it for you, so it's easier for you. So it's like having a conversation with yourself. It's like those negative thoughts, just write it down because that's the goal. That's how you can let go of it in the meditation, if that makes
Yeah,
sense. When you're meditating, how do you feel like? What do you actually let go? Do you just feel the emotions and just let it go, or how do you do it?
like
If
whenever I'm
that
doing
makes sense.
meditation, I feel the emotion, and then whenever I feel the emotion, I often have several different memories appear that I associate with that emotion. Like
Mhm.
let's say certain, like let's say I felt, let's say let's say I felt bitter because, and then I associate that memory with oh, my brother took this and he never returned it, or like my dad gave me a lecture and I didn't even want to hear it, stuff like that. Like,
Mm.
and then after that, I move on to the next emotion, and then have several memories pop up that I would associate with that emotion, and then that's it. Like maybe I'm doing something wrong in my meditation or something that may have to
Mm-mm.
recall on. But
No, no, no. So how this is the tough part that I had to learn. It's like how do you know if you let go something, right? How do you know if it happened or if it worked? So how you can see is that let's say one event triggered you really hard. And if you go to the same event or same thing happened to you and you feel less triggered or triggered at all, it means you let go of that thing, right? So let's say somebody reject you in the future and now you don't feel like those emotions means you let go of that stuff. So that's how you know like you are actually letting go of things. And look, if you feel the same trigger, don't dwell. Don't be like angry and what's it called? Angry at yourself or saying like, oh, why didn't that happen? Why didn't I let go? The more you say I want to let go, no, not gonna lie. Let go means accepting. Make sense?
yeah,
Because sometimes we tell, oh, I want to let go of this emotion. It means you try and get rid of it. That's bad. It means it's gonna like persist even more. So what I would say, like instead of letting go, say to yourself, let it be. Let the emotion, let it be there. I think that's way better way to go about it. Let the emotion be there. No judgment. If it arises, arise. Fuck that shit. It doesn't matter. Let it be there because that's how you process actually. The more it's like, why do I feel this way? Fuck, why? The more it comes. Make sense? The stronger it
um
gets.
so you'd say letting go is a little more misleading because it's like you're trying to repulsively try to rid of the emotion. It's not
Yeah.
gonna do, but it doesn't do any good. It's just gonna make it worse.
Worse and stronger in the future. So I would say like if the emotion comes, let it be. Like maybe it's trying to like process, it's trying to get it out, but you have to let it be there. Because sometimes you have really strong emotions. Maybe being aware of why your emotions. Look, here's the thing that I learned. When you have emotions, don't attach yourself. Just see that there's emotions. When you can feel the emotion means like, wait, there's emotions in my body. I feel in my body. When you do that, you don't feel those emotions that strongly. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I gave you a whole lecture here, bro.
Nah, actually, this is what I needed, to be honest.
Not because the thing is, what I realized is like when I talk too much, you have things that is not that important, you know. So I would say maybe my thing that I need to make it better is like asking you better questions and making you what you want. Make sense? So it's like helping you out better, what you really need. So Yeah, I have to learn that, like questioning better. So my question is, I can't even question things. So what would you say like is the
Biggest
like
takeaway?
no, I don't say we got time, we got hell of time. Need to like actually process this. So have you done the strands, questions, and everything for the version of yourself you want to become?
I'm actually was going to do that like right after this call.
No, no,
Like,
yeah, it's good. Yeah,
I'm actually surprised I didn't. I don't know why I didn't do it. Actually was supposed to do it yesterday, but then you know, I guess I was just trying because I've had a long week and all I could think about was just trying to decompress myself to the point I didn't think about doing it. So I should have done it yesterday, but I think I'm gonna do it today.
you look. Now we have this thing. Don't feel resentful towards yourself. Like, okay, I couldn't do this. Totally fine. It's okay. How can I make it better? Because when you start asking yourself that question, you don't think about the past anymore. The more you think about the past, the more thing happens from the past to the future. The
Yeah.
more energy you give towards it. So if you think, oh shit, why did I do this shit? Why did I forgot my calculator? The more you dwell on it, the more bad things happen in the future. Now, let's say you forgot the calculator. Shit, I forgot my calculator. Okay, totally fine. I can control what is happening, what's gonna happen right now. How can I make it better? And how can I focus right now? Asking yourself these two questions, you focus on right now and in the future, and you forget the past.
Same for rejection as well. Like, instead of like looking at it as, oh shit, why didn't I do this better? Or like instead of it looking at that, I could think of like, what can I do better next time the opportunity comes?
Mm,
Something like that.
mm.
And just
Also,
let go of like, any negative outcomes that may possibly happen or negative thinking, I mean. And also you were saying?
yeah, it's like yeah, not focusing too much in the past. That's the thing. Mm. Okay, that's one of the things. Now it's like after the second thing in the third phase, domination, like dominating everything, becoming the person and doing things from day to day life. I'm gonna give you some habits you need to do daily, like easy. Have you still doing those hourly centering yourself?
Centering myself, like not meditation, right? Something else. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a whole different thing. Let me just show it to you. Is the actual awareness detachment thing. So it's like there's a practice that I have, right? So you have to have a reminder on your phone hourly. So that's how you like detach from the world, the thoughts, and the feelings. So let's say the timer went off for 3 o'clock every hour. That's what I do. You don't have to. You can do it every 2 hours, every 3 hours. So what I do is like if the timer went off, right? I sit comfortably and see around myself. I see what's happening here. I detach from the world, then I detach from the feelings. I observe my feelings, then I absorb my thoughts. When you observe things, means you are not that. When you can observe this thing, you're not that. If you can observe your hands, you're not that. Somebody's observing it. Make sense?
yeah,
So that's like that. So now you have emptiness. Now you have more energy towards the things you want to push towards. Make sense?
yeah.
Hmm.
That actually makes a good foot end for my day, to be honest. Like, by the end of the day, because I don't really have a foot end. I don't know if you know what like I don't know if you know I don't know if it's something my fitness coach brought up. Like basically, you have a book start, you have a book middle, and a book end. My book start is like I meditate for 30 minutes each day, and then a book middle, like take a short walk and get some activity. But like I don't really have a book end. Like a book end basically means like just ending your day, right? And I don't really have
Winding
one. all i
down.
do all I do to be honest is just as soon as I get home from class, I just eat and go straight to bed. I don't do anything else. So
Mhm.
I think the observing thing could actually be helpful for my case.
Mhm. No, observing is more towards like getting more energy towards the thing you want to put. Because the thing is, we unconsciously do things. We do everything autopilot, right? Make sense?
Yeah,
So this exercise helps you be conscious of where to put your attention. Your attention is so crucial. And when you put your attention, the energy flows.
yeah,
So this like detaching from the things you are doing, Let me just share this thing to you. I think yeah, I already have it in the thing. Let me just quickly. I'm telling you, this exercise has changed my life in just 2 months. Really, because the energy that I have now, after the day ends, I feel more energized. I don't feel like fatigue at all because I know where to put consciously my energy towards. You get more
Yeah.
energy towards putting something else. If that's something you want to do, free free to do is life changing. This is the only exercise I would say like is better for you because in life you're gonna get what you focus on. Make sense? So
Yeah.
if you can focus on things you want and unconsciously getting things you don't want, then it's really bad. But where is it? Can you see the thing? I already
Yeah.
have in your emotion page.
Yeah. I see it.
So basically set a timer on your phone. I mean, you can just read this. This is a centering method. I learned from this from my coach too. So you have a wake up call every hour from when you wake up until your bedtime. So the steps are easy. Like what thoughts are popping in my mind? Just observe the thoughts. Don't detach. Don't detach. Don't attach yourself from the thought. Don't label something. Just observe it like a cloud passing by, right? Second, just see what emotion is happening. Like what emotion are you feeling? It's like having this inner eye in yourself and
Yeah.
see what's happening outside. Don't change or judge anything. Just watch like it's like a movie, right? If you're watching a movie, you can see that's a movie happening. You're not in the character, you're watching the movie, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're not playing the character role, you're not being the actor, you're in the what's it called? Chair, what do you call that? Auditorium
Background.
watching the character.
Background.
Yeah. You are the person in the auditorium watching the character, if that makes sense. Then
Yeah.
you are the character and you're watching the character and the things happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying detach my real self from my actual self. Like
Mm.
my, would you say like my actual self? No, like my actual self is the observer, is the background observer, and my real self is the main character. Or would you say the other way around?
Okay, I would say like the actual self in life is observant. Since you're a child, the thing is, I want to also emphasize. I don't know if I put this because the life is not real. If that makes sense. If something changes, right, it's not real. I don't know, like I'm going too deep here because I like to like learn about these things. I want to go too deep here, but when you're a child, right, the awareness you have, the observant, like the things witnessing, right, it never change. It's still watching something, right? Since you're a child, it's still watching something.
Yeah.
And that didn't change. Your body changed, how you talk and everything changed. But the thing that's watching everything hasn't changed at all. I'm not fucking going too deep here. I don't think that's a good way. You can like misinterpret this information. I don't want to give it to you right now. In the future, you're
Uh,
gonna get through it, to be
so
honest.
I normally would say no, it's all good, but like, yeah, I feel this is a
Really, really
deeper
deep, yeah.
topic. That's a really deep topic. Like, I can't lie. I don't know if it's. I don't know if even now is a good time to even talk about it because I'm still
Yes.
trying to process it. What do you mean that thing that's not that hasn't changed at all? And then
Yeah, yeah, I don't know
that's
what the
what
fuck happened here.
you know,
So I also just say like just do these three things, absorbing everything that's happening in your. What the hell is happening here? Wait, okay. So what things is happening? This card. So things that's happening in your environment, what you are doing right now, and how you feel, and what are your thoughts. And the key thing is don't judge. Simply be the witness, not the person reacting or trying to control everything. And do it for 30 days. And I'm telling you, your life in work, how you talk to people, it's like it changes almost everything. Because
like
95% of the time, we are really, really unconscious. 95%. You know how big is that is? We are creatures of what the hell's happening? We are creatures of habits, bro.
like
So yeah,
we do things without even thinking about it
yeah.
most of the time.
And that thing is controlling our fate. That's why we call it fate. I don't know if you heard about this. It's called like until you don't make the unconscious conscious, you will call it fate.
I've heard. I think I've heard something like that.
Yeah, Carl Jung. Let me just put it right
Like
now.
it's like kind of related. Like until you're aware of this, until you're aware of certain things, it will
Okay,
just
okay, I got
happen.
it, got it.
You got it?
What were you saying?
No, no, no. I was just like, no, because I got what it may mean. Like, when you make the unconscious, until you make the conscious conscious, that means, until you're truly aware of what's happening
Mhm.
around you,
No, no,
think
no.
again.
What's actually ruling your life? So here's the quote. Where the hell is it? So fucking hell. Let me share
All right.
this quickly. Oh, this is interesting. I think we should do this like 30 minutes actually um helping your real life things, so questioning everything you need. And maybe on another 30 minutes what we can do is like more specifically learning if that's what you want. And understanding life. I don't know if that's something you want to go about.
No, sure. Like, it doesn't have to be 30 minutes. It could be like, 50. Because I've noticed these calls sometimes are not even 30 minutes. Or like, over 30 minutes. Sometimes we go less, more. Like,
Yeah.
I
I
don't
think we
really.
need
There's
to
not
like
really. Yeah, go ahead. I was gonna
we
say
need
there's
to
not
make it
really a
more.
certain time to do things. So.
Mm,
Yeah,
true.
so, I mean, it doesn't have to be 30 minutes. We could do just that, like, first helping out with my life situations, and then, the other half we just
Make it
learn,
better.
make it better. Yeah.
So here's the thing. Until you make the unconscious, I mean 90% of the times that happen, like things since you're born, things that were put inside your head from your family, environment, content, and conscious like the things you're doing right now, thinking everything. This is only 5%, bro. Only 5%. It will direct your life and you will call it fate. So people call, oh, this is my fate, this is what I was born for. And they don't know because the unconscious is ruling their life. They're not conscious enough. So in your life, if you feel like, shit, why am I waking up not late? For me, it's happening right now. Why am I waking up late and everything? So when you make it unconscious conscious, you're like, okay, there's a pattern here. Let me catch it here. The more you're aware, when you're aware of something, of a problem, 50% of the thing is solved, right? When you're aware of the thing, you're solved. You know what to do, where to go for it. When you're not aware of this shit, you don't know what the fuck is happening. Right? So that's why this centering method was so crucial. You can do it like every 3 hours, maybe 4 times a day. I don't know if you want to try it.
The
That makes sense.
observe it does entering
Yeah, it's
exercise.
like for 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Just
I
see
was,
what's happening.
I was just gonna ask, how long would that exactly be? Like, like, is it
Oh,
something that just,
just
or
like 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute. It's just like just detaching from the world and then engaging what's happening in life. You know.
so regardless whether 30 seconds, 15 seconds, and then a minute, like, it doesn't matter how long you do it. It's just
Mm.
what matters is that it's done. Like,
No,
you
no, no.
just
If
do it at all.
to understand, I understand what you're trying to say. So the outcome is like feeling more empty, like stillness,
Yeah.
like feeling more still, not feeling like oh shit, what's happening here. Feeling more like emptiness, stillness, peace. When you ask those questions rightly, I know like this is going too deep. I'm gonna make a actual course and in that video because just writing things down is really complicated to like actually teach you.
Yeah.
So maybe just asking yourself the 3 questions and filling the thing, 30 seconds, 1 minute, then do the work we're doing.
Hmm.
And so the reason why you do that is because when you detach yourself, now you're conscious of the things you're doing. And it's like, why the fuck am I eating these chips? You're like, fuck, let me throw it away, right? Sometimes you do things unconsciously. Let's say you are maybe doing something procrastinating and the alarm went off. Oh shit, you see what's happening, you see yourself, wait, why am I wasting my time here? Then you consciously put your thing in the things you're doing. That's how you catch yourself. That's how you catch your habits, how you do things, and how you change from that stuff. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get what you mean. Like, I sometimes, I can't lie. Like, sometimes I watch myself, like, I constantly, like, when I'm procrastinating, I do binge YouTube a bit, and then I'm not really aware of it till, like,
Mm.
maybe, like, a couple of hours or a few hours in. Maybe what you're saying is that if I do the it's called the centering thing, I could probably be aware of it quicker. That
Really
makes sense.
quick, and you
Yeah.
can put the things where you want.